Okay, so content strategy, what is it? It's bigger than the web. It involves all your channels, so web, email, print, social media, TV, and it's about two things. So keeping your message consistent across those channels and also making sure that said content is not shit. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to focus on the planning stage and a kind of common scenario, which is that clients come to us and they're not sure what they want to say about a new product or a new site. One of the exercises that we use a lot is the user's lifecycle, which comes from Josh Porter. He wrote it for kind of around web apps and software, and it's around these kind of stages that you go through to become a customer, and in between each stage is a hurdle, which is something your customer needs to either know or do. And I totally thought, hey, this totally applies to online dating. I don't even need to change the labels, passionate use on the end. And you know, one of the major things behind this is that you need to space out your content. Having too much information at the start can actually be really overwhelming. So this is from OkCupid. You don't need to know all these things before a first date. In fact, you don't need to know them ever. And it's important to realise at this early stage, even when you're just trying to get people interested, you have multiple content channels. So you've got your profile, messages and chats, and the Google factor. And I'm going to talk through all three of them. So beginning with your profile, the thing about, obviously, guys' profiles are, you know, the most experience I have looking at. They're very literal. They usually go, I am 3 adjectives, and then I enjoy 4 hobbies. And the problem with this is that, you know, it's kind of disingenuous, and it also creates a lot of repetition. So everyone is doing the same thing, and this is from a crude kind of Google advanced search. Anecdotally, these numbers are way higher. So almost every profile I see, everyone seems to go to the gym, they're really laid back, and they like sports. Next is photos. As I said, we're going for consistency. So if you're looking for a relationship, you might want to put up something more than your abs. You know, and you want to give people an idea of what you're really like. So, you know, make sure the photo actually gives an idea of that. This is kind of extreme, but it's the same as having one photo of yourself where you're wearing sunglasses or you're really far away or you're in a group of people and you haven't pointed out which person you are in that photo. So onto messages. This is the message from the swimming pool guy. The thing is, it's like, don't waste people's time. You know, this is kind of like saying, hey, you kind of look adulterous. I just thought I'd message you. And also kind of know your audience, know what they're looking for. You know, my main problem with this message is that this guy has decided to tell me he's very muscular and very astute. And, you know, that's not a combination that my friends and I sit around thinking, hey, you know, that's exactly what I want in a guy. Onto photos. So sometimes it's really obvious when people are taking creative license with their photos, but this is not always the case. So in this next photo, which should come up in a matter of seconds, this guy looks like a really nice guy. Sure. You know, it looks like he's, you know, hanging out with his dad and like, oh, isn't that lovely? Like he's the kind of guy I might go on a date with. But, you know, if we put this guy into Google Images, you can do a reverse search by either URL or upload an image. And we can see that there's photos on a few places on the web. It's kind of like looking a little bit suspicious. And then if you click that first link, you know, we'll actually find that, in fact, this guy's not a 29-year-old from Dublin. He's actually Caleb Lane, male model. You know, at this stage, this is about as far as I can get you with content. So I'm going to close by just giving you a few kind of personal anecdotes, because I promised that I'd help you get to first base. So if you're lucky enough to swap numbers, guys, please, under no circumstances, text her a photo of your junk. If you're lucky enough to, you know, get through the minefield, which is like pre-date texting, and you actually end up on a date, it is not a good topic of conversation to ask if you believe in love at first sight, which has actually happened to me. And, you know, even if your date doesn't go well, that's fine. Like, it's not always going to work out. But if, you know, if things are going okay, you know, maybe your knees are touching, you know, maybe, you know, she's let you put her arm around her, don't then turn to her and say, your hair is as soft as a Labrador. All right, thanks, guys. I hope Content Strategy helps you get a date.